I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Hello, beautiful people of the internet. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Hannah if you're new here, and I'm so excited that you've joined me today. To be honest, I'm not sure this is gonna happen. As you all can tell by the name of my YouTube channel, my name is The Teacher's TBR. And I am a teacher in real life, okay? And because I am a teacher, I have a very set sleeping schedule, okay? It's getting better since, I'm on summer break and I'm a little free, but I'm not even joking you. Throughout the school year, I go to bed at 9 because I have to wake up so early. And honestly, teaching takes so much out of you that you have to get that much sleep. Otherwise, I'm not fit for anything the next day, much less to teach a future generation. Tell you what we're doing. I've still not even told you what we're doing. We're going to be attempting to read for 24 hours. I don't know for sure which way I'm going to do it. I guess it depends on if I'm able to stay up for 24 hours straight or not. I truly don't think that I'm going to be able to do that. So my goal for this video and for this challenge is to truly read as many books as I can in the 24-hour time span. I don't know, y'all. I don't know. That being said, I'm going to hand the camera off to a hopefully more optimistic, less put together Hannah.
A few moments later.
Hello, my friends. Long time no see. I'm so sorry if you can hear my dog chewing on his bone in the background, but he likes to get the loudest toys he can when I start filming. So, as you can tell by today's title, we're going to be trying the 24-hour challenge, which is where you try to read as many books as you can in 24 hours. I'm going to try this 2 different ways because I know I'm going to try and start out with 24 hours straight, right? I'm going to try and just set the timer and just read. But I know that at some point I'm going to have to stop the timer because I've got responsibilities. So I am going to read for as long as I can, and then I'll update you and stop the timer whenever I need to. But I do have an audiobook on hand as well, so things that I can do while I'm listening to an audiobook, I'll just listen to that. I picked a perfect day to start this challenge because it is coming the biggest storm outside, and all I want to do when it's storming outside is read. And that's what we're going to do today. We're just going to read today. I am so excited because this entire summer, I don't think I've ever just had a chance to just sit down and read for an entire day. That's not been reality for me. So I'm so excited for this challenge. The first book I'm going to pick up for this challenge is Done and Dusted. And I'm already 32% of the way through that one. So I'm hoping to finish that one pretty quickly. And then I'll update you from the books from there. So let me switch to a different reading position because this just ain't comfortable. So I will see you in just a second. Okay, before we get started, I do want to make a water because I do not want to get a headache today. I've had a headache for the past 2 days and I'm sick of them. So I do not want to get a headache today, so I have to make a water with you guys. And I am part of, the water talk community. I am obsessed with flavored water. I used to not like flavored water until, I got influenced. So let's make a water. My husband always makes fun of me because I don't refill the water container And you saw it here, folks. I did today. Okay, so my current favorite flavor to put in my Stanley, and by the way, I had the 40-ounce Stanley, and so I use 2 packets when I use packets at all, because I find that if you just use one, it's not as much flavor. My favorite combination, as of right now, is the Skittles Strawberry Starfruit with the Skittles Pineapple Passion Fruit. And these two together, so good. My husband is dramatic and says that it tastes like cough syrup, but I promise you it doesn't. I got these little straw covers for my Stanley on Amazon. There's like a bunch of them that I got in the pack. There's like a rainbow, there's a lemon, there's a bunch of little things. But this is the little pink cloud that I'm going to use today. And we have our water. Okay, so it is currently 8:58. I'm going to start right at 9. I'm going to time on my iPad because I'm filming on my phone. Okay, I got my Kindle. I don't know. I guess I didn't think I needed it. So, that being said, that gave us a minute. So, I'm going to start the timer. Let me find the timer on here. All right, so we're going to start 23 hours, 59 minutes, and 59 seconds. All right, ready? It is 9 o'clock. Let's start. Happy reading. Okay, I just need to say something really quick about this book. You know how some romances, when you read them, you're like, that's kind of cringy, right? Like some of the banter that they have back and forth, or some of the quotes that are in romance novels can be a little cringy. This is not at all cringy, and it should be, because it's like a cowboy romance. You know, he's calling her sugar. It should be cringy, but it's not. It's so incredibly cute, and honestly, I truly feel the chemistry between these characters. I feel like they want to be together, and I feel like I'm there. You know, I feel like I can feel their love with each other, and I'm having such a good time. Okay, I have to read you this quote. So, I don't want to give too much away, but basically there was an accident, and she is really hesitant about writing again. She was a professional writer, and she goes, I don't know how I feel about it, honestly. All I know is I love to ride, but I don't want riding to be everything anymore. And he goes, you know, if you don't like the road you're on, you can always pave a new one. And she goes, who said that? Robert Frost? Brooke smiled and shook his head. Dolly Parton, he responded. Ah, God herself, I said with a laugh. So I finished it. I finished Done and Dusted, book number 1 done. It is 12:11, and we have 20 hours left. Actually, no, 21 hours, yeah. So, let me first tell you what this book was about. So, this book was following our main character, Clementine rider, and she used to competitively ride. However, she was involved in a riding accident, and that kind of scared her to come back home to her hometown. So when she gets back home, she meets up with her old friends and her family. She also runs into the guy that she could not stand when she left, and that was her brother's best friend, Luke. And Luke owns the local bar, and they meet up on the first night, and already off the bat, she senses something is different. And they just kind of hit it off, and they become friends, and Luke finds out that she has this fear of riding again, and he offers to teach her how to ride, starting from the basics. And obviously it ensues from there. And again, it is Brother's Best Friend, and I loved that. I've never read Brother's Best Friend before, and I thought that was such a cool aspect of it. I loved it. I ended up giving it 4.5 because it can't be a 5 for me, because first of all, don't let the cover of this fool you. This is a very spicy romance. And okay, here's the thing. I don't mind curse words in my books a lot, and I can usually just skim past them. The curse words were used a little too much for me, and it just kind of took me out of the story a little bit, and I didn't really like that aspect of it. So for that, I did dock 1/2 star. But now I do have to go do some things. I need to go take care of my dogs. My dogs need to go potty and eat, and I need to eat. And so I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop in my headphones and listen to an audiobook. The audiobook that I have downloaded is The Younger Wife. I believe that's the name of it, by Sally Hepworth. I really enjoyed The Good Sister by Sally Hepworth, and so I don't think that this one's going to be any different from that. So I'm going to go do that, and I will see you when I see you.
Macmillan Audio presents The Younger Wife. It's on to boot. I was shocked to see Pamela here. Guests had exchanged worried looks as she entered on her daughter's arm, smiling and waving as if arriving at a red carpet event. I'd wonder why she was invited if I didn't know Stephen. Despite what happened, Pamela is family. And to Stephen, family is everything. Pamela takes her seat in the front row, then immediately rises to her feet again, walking purposefully towards Stephen. The music changes and everyone turns to face the back of the room. The bride is fresh-faced, baked-tanned, and strapped into a dress that likely cost more than the deposit for my first home. She is very attractive. Slim and brunette and 30-something. I sneak a look at Stephen. He looks proud as punch, and why wouldn't he? Stephen may be a handsome man, but if you're marrying a woman in her 30s when you're in your early 60s, it has to be said you're batting above your average. The bride arrives at the front to find Stephen and his ex-wife standing there, but Stephen, being Stephen, manages to return her to her seat without anything being awkward. A feat that perhaps only Stephen Aston could pull off. With Pamela out of the way, the bride squeezes into the tiny space beside the groom, and the celebrant, a pigeon-shaped woman in a crisp white pantsuit, invites everyone to be seated. The room is charged with aggressive goodwill, big unnatural smiles, wide eyes, comments about the bride's dress, which is exquisite. Miriam recently observed that the vast majority of brides resembled the Barbie on a child's birthday cake in their strapless gowns, with skirts large enough to smuggle 6 leprechauns down the aisle.
I cannot be the only one who hates when books mention things from this generation, like TikTok or COVID-19. Why? Why do we need to, why? Also, I have already taken an ibuprofen.
I do not want to get a headache today.
I've already got a headache, but I think what I'm going to do now, I was going to put my audiobook down so I could pick up a physical book, but I think I want to, and you guys are not going to believe me, okay? But diamond painting is popular now. I don't know if TikTok blew it up or what, but it's popular. And last year I got into diamond painting and just kind of set it down because there was just too much going on in my life. And so I have one that is not finished yet, and I would like to finish that at some point. And I'm listening to this audiobook, and I need something to do with my hands. So I think I'm going to do that. I took care of everything that I need to take care of. So I think I'm going to go do that. Okay, my friends, so here is my diamond painting that I started. As you can see, it's a little bookstore storefront, and it is adorable. I've got this much done, and I just set it down because there was just too much going on. And then I bought this little thing off of Amazon. So I did one other one before this one. And as you can see, this container has like other smaller containers that hold the beads. And I just label them with the number. And I think these first 2 rows are the first one I did. And then the second 2 rows are this one. So eventually I will have to throw these away or do something else with them, because I will eventually run out of room if I continue this. But yeah, so that's my whole setup. Hopefully I can get a big chunk of this done. Hello. I am 61% of the way through The Younger Wife by Sally Hepworth, and I've hit a wall. I'm only 6 hours into this challenge, and I'm already like, oh my gosh, this is so tough. And I'm listening to an audiobook. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this audiobook and then probably switch to a graphic novel before we go to dinner. We have to go to dinner with my husband's family tonight, so I will have to stop the timer for that. So I will hopefully finish this audiobook within the next hour or so, and then probably pick up a graphic novel just to kind of give my brain just a little bit of a break, and then I'll go to dinner and then come back. So as far as The Younger Wife, I am enjoying it so far. Again, I'm 61% of the way through. I think I have 2 hours left exactly. And basically it's about this guy who's in his 60s and he has 2 daughters, and his wife has just recently been diagnosed with dementia, and she's just like going through all the things with dementia, and he decides that he doesn't want to be with her anymore, so he marries this younger woman. And obviously the daughters are having a hard time with that, but the daughters are having troubles within their own life. Like, they have secrets of their own. It's kind of like a dual POV almost. We're getting Rachel and Tuli, their points of view, which are the daughters. We're also getting Heather's point of view, which is the wife, the young wife. So it's good so far. And then we're also getting like a dual timeline sort of thing, like in the present as well as in the future, where there's been a murder take place at their wedding. So I don't know. I don't really know anything so far. I have theories of like how this is going to pan out, but I really don't know. So I am going to finish this. I did do a little bit of my diamond painting, but my eyes were hurting, so I just decided to switch to something else. As you saw, I started happy coloring on my iPad, and I think I'm just going to like sit here and just listen to this audiobook and not do anything. I'm already sleepy, and we're not even halfway through. Okay, bye. Something just happened. Hello, my friends. It is officially 5:35, and I have finished The Younger Wife by Sally Hepworth. I ended up giving it a 3-star, and let me explain why. Time after time after time that I read Sally Hepworth, I'm always not really let down, but almost let down, because I've got it in my brain that she writes thrillers, and she doesn't. She writes suspenseful novels. Sorry, my dog cannot contain himself for 5 seconds. She writes more suspenseful novels than thrillers, and I think I get that in my brain every time that I'm going to read a really juicy thriller, and that's just not it. And this was not it. It was okay. Like, I found myself really intrigued with the characters and the plot and everything, but it didn't supply what I wanted it to, if that makes sense. But it's nothing against the book. Like, people will enjoy this book, just not for me. So, that being said, I am going to go ahead and stop the timer because we're going to go eat dinner. 15:20, and I'm going to pause it. So we're at 15 hours and 20 minutes. So that's how much we have left. I'm feeling okay. I'm feeling okay. Listen, I know I told you that I was going to pick up a graphic novel, and I very well might when I come home, but I'm honestly craving a physical book right now. And I didn't think I would say that, but I honestly am. So we're going to go to dinner, and I will see you when we get back. Hi. Look what time it is. Yeah. We just came back home. So, I'm going to start the timer now. And I truly don't know if I can make it, y'all. I don't know if I can make it through the night. We're gonna try this. We're gonna try it. I don't even know what I'm gonna read next. I don't know anything. We're just winging it at this point, okay? We're just winging it. Whose idea was this? Here's the deal. I don't think I can do it. So, I'm about 16 minutes away from having 13 hours total left. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop the timer at 13 hours and then finish it up tomorrow. I'm hopefully going to wake up at a reasonable hour in the morning because, you know, that way I can just get a good early start on it. But I am just so tired. Even though, as you saw, I picked up Not a Happy Family by Sherry Lapina, and this is a perfect book for this challenge because it is so fast-paced and it is such a perfect thriller. It reminds me of Knives Out. Like, somebody dies and like it has to do with a family and their will was changed, and it's perfect. I love it. And I'm on page 85 right now, so I'm making my way through it. I'm just sitting here yawning and I want to go to sleep. Good morning. I'm a little bit more rested than I was last night, but I'm still really tired. Okay. Podcast something to say. I showed you last night. I did end up picking Not a Happy Family. I'm loving it so far. I think it's the perfect book for this kind of challenge because it's super fast paced and I'm really liking it. It's giving me like a Knives Out sort of thing, and I'm really liking it so far. I'm really liking it. So I'm gonna do some more. Okay. Anyway, it's currently almost 8 o'clock, so let's get this timer started. I'm not finished with it yet, but I am almost finished with it. I don't know if you can tell, but I am on page 271, and I think I have like 50, 60 pages left, so I'm almost finished. It is currently, it is currently 11:45, and this is what my timer looks like right now. 9 hours and 8 minutes. So for a second, I'm going to pause that because I am going to go meet my husband for lunch because we don't have many days where we can do that left. So I'm gonna go meet him for lunch and then I'm gonna come back and finish this book because I'm having such a good time with this book. I love it. It's keeping me intrigued. I think this may be my favorite Sherry Lapina, to be honest. And her books have never been like super memorable for me. They've just been like 3 or 4 stars. But this is so much fun. So I'm gonna go meet him for lunch and I will be right back. I look slightly different from the last time I talked to you. I met my husband for lunch, and then I came home and I got distracted because I filmed a video and edited it. So I didn't get started until a little bit later, but I did restart the timer. But I have finished Not a Happy Family by Sherry Lapina. I really liked this one for like 99% of it, and then the ending kind of fell short for me. And I don't know. I guess I'm just used to like really crazy twists, and this was just kind of laid out for me. So, but I really liked the plot of this one. I really liked the characters and the build-up. I really liked this one. So I do think this is my favorite Sherry Lapina. Again, the ending was just kind of lackluster for me. I can't remember if I told you what this one was about, but basically it follows this family, this mom and dad with 3 grown adult children. And the mom and dad are very wealthy, and these 3 children are set to inherit like millions of dollars. Someone's murdered. Both the mom and the dad are murdered, and we're just trying to figure out who it was. One of the kids? Was it the housekeeper? Was it the in-laws? Like, who was it? So we're trying to figure out who did it throughout this entire book, and it was just so much fun. I really, really liked it. I thought this was, again, such a fun ride. As far as my time, I have 7 hours and 44 minutes left. Now, I think I can at least get one more book read and then maybe one more started. I'm not sure when I want to pick up though. So I think I'm going to pause that timer long enough for me to figure out what I want to read next. And yeah, I do need to stop and make dinner at some point. So I think I may pop in an audiobook for that. I've been listening to the Campers and Criminals series by Tanya Capez. I love that series so much, and I think I'm listening to book number 5. It just came in yesterday, and I was so excited. So I think I'll pop that in at least while I'm making dinner, and then I'll pick up another physical book after. So until I see you next. So I'm already on chapter 2, and I'm not a huge fan of her writing. I'm really not feeling this. I'm 14 pages in. I'm really not feeling it. Okay, my friends, it is officially time to close out this video. I am going to cut to me telling you all the books that I finished in this video. I think the last time I talked to you, I was in bed not feeling the villa. I was not feeling it at all. I was not liking it, so I put it down. And I ended up picking up Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry. and I think I had like 3 hours left and then ended up getting to halfway before the end of the video. So let's cut to me telling you all the books that I finished. Alright, the first book that I finished in this video was Done and Dusted by Lila Sage. I read this on my Kindle, and I had already started it. I think I was like 30% when I started this video. And I sat down and finished it, and it was so stinking cute. I ended up giving it 4.5 stars. And I told you in the video that I docked half a star because of the language. The language just took me out of the story a little bit. But do not let this cover fool you. It is a very, very cute yet spicy book. It is not for the faint of heart. I'll just let you know that right now. It's a cowboy romance, best friends, brothers romance. No. Brother's best friend. Tomato, tomato. Then the second book that I ended up picking up was an audiobook, and that was The Younger Wife by Sally Hepworth. I, again, told you this in the video, but I have it in my mind that Sally Hepworth writes really juicy thrillers, and that's not the case. Her books are not thrillers. I would classify them as suspenseful novels. Oh my gosh. Why are you running into my tripod, dude? If you hear pug noises, we have a visitor. Yeah, anyway, I would classify her novels as suspenseful mystery novels and more so than a thriller. I don't think that they're thrillers, and I get disappointed every time because I go in thinking that they're thrillers and they're not. So, hear me out right now. Don't go into Sally Hepworth thinking it's a thriller. I ended up giving this one a 3-star. I thought it was just average. The third book I picked up was such a good idea, and that is Not a Happy Family by Sherry Lapina. Sherry Lapina's books are such a good time. They're like candy. Like I told you earlier, Not a Happy Family is basically about this rich, wealthy family with a mom and a dad and 3 adult children. Well, the adult children find out that they are going to sell their house, their mansion that they lived in, that they thought that they were going to inherit. And they also find out that they are due a large inheritance, and it turns out that their parents end up murdered. Coincidence? Probably not. I absolutely adored this one. I thought it was such a fun time. The only thing that fell lackluster for me was the actual twist and the actual ending and finding out who did it, but even then, I was just like, I had such a good time, I can't even not like it because it was such a good time. I ended up giving it 4 stars. Oh, I'm just kidding. I actually finished 4 books. I actually finished 4.5 books. I forgot because I finished Motorhomes, Maps, and Murder by Tanya Capez. This was another audiobook that I listened to, and again, I'm obsessed with this series. It's so cute, and the narrator alone makes the entire series. If you're going to pick up this cozy mystery series, I would suggest you do it audibly, just because that is the way I consumed it, and I think that that is the elite way to consume these. And lastly, I told you that I picked up Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry. Again, I did not finish this book in this video, so I'm not going to tell you my thoughts on it just yet. You're just going to have to wait and see. I got about halfway through this one before the timer went off. And there you have it, my friends. That is all of the books that I finished in this 24-hour reading challenge. Again, this challenge is not for the faint of heart. It was a very, very tough challenge, and I had a rough time. I'm not gonna lie. It was not easy, and again, I think that there's just too much going on in my life to be able to sit for 24 hours, and I obviously didn't do that. I didn't do it straight. I did it in little increments. So, if you like this video, please give it a like and hit that subscribe button if you want to stick around, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!